got you here for?
I just do my final.
That's why your mothership dropped right on me like it was supposed to.
We are live.
Hey, you need to shut the volume down because it's going to come on the camera.
We won't be at church tomorrow, okay?
You will?
We won't.
Okay. Hi, Ernest.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Let's Live Change. My name is Miss T Slash, and we're here with guest Miss Kenya Taylor, the owner of Tailored Enterprise. The name of the show today that we're going to be talking about is Reaching Beyond the Soil. Reaching Beyond the Soil is about when you are at your lowest, when you're gone through the trenches. What is it that you find in that lowest moment that you can take to move forward, to be inspirational, to make a change in your life, to be an inspiration to others, to be more impactful to the world, whatever that case may be. But it's about reaching beyond the soil. So one of the things that I want to bring is my soil was when I battled breast cancer at the age of 40 years old. I was just going to a regular mammogram just because I was 40. It was not because I felt anything, but I can now say I attribute that to the Spirit urging me to go and check out myself. And so about 2 weeks later, I learned that there was a tumor, and about another week later, they said, okay, let's come in and do an ultrasound. Had the ultrasound done, and 2 days later, after that, I was contacted by my primary care physician, who advised me that it was that she wanted to see me in the office, and I immediately freaked out. Got to the office, I knew something was wrong, and my blood pressure was really high, and the nurse said, why is your blood pressure really high? And I said, because you wanted to see me after hours, and I know that I just had a mammogram done. So with that being said, it was breast cancer. And so I decided to fight and to use that situation and that journey to inspire others, because I didn't have one doubt in my mind that I was not going to survive. I didn't have the normal symptoms as everybody else. I did a lot of reading, and I empowered myself to learn more about the illness, to teach people how to walk through their trials, and that was my soil. So today we're going to allow Kenya to talk about her soil and tell you a little bit about her, and I'm going to allow her to say hello to the audience. She is a cancer warrior as well. She's an entrepreneur, of course. I said she's the owner of Tailored Enterprise, single mother. She's a new Chi-Chi, has a beautiful grandson. Yes. And she has gained strength through illness, death, played a significant part in my battle with breast cancer, because out of all of the people, all of the friends that I had, she was one that I didn't talk to all the time, but she reached out to me one day, and she took me on a spa day to get a manicure and pedicure, and we had the most wonderful conversation in the car. We talked about the book that I had been writing. I think I was already starting on the book, and she shared with me that she had a book in her, and I'm still encouraging her to get her book out. Yes. And so say hello to the audience, and we just want to walk through a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are right now as a successful business owner.
Well, hello everyone. I want to give all praises and honor to God for me actually being here above ground at this age and at this day and time. As Tangi said before, I saw her dealing with her breast cancer, and something just led me to reach out to her. Upon me reaching out to her, I didn't know that she was actually going to be pouring into me all at the same time. I encouraged her. I took her out on a spa day, and I did a little bit of research, and she actually got it was an aloe vera pedicure, where they just actually took the aloe vera plant and just, exfoliated her whole feet and legs and everything. But it just, in dealing with, if you have never dealt with how the differences that you go, the different emotional states that you go through, and the differences, the changes that your body goes through when you're dealing with cancer. I knew what she was dealing with, so I just had to reach out to her. And I actually am a cancer survivor of cervical cancer. I was actually diagnosed 9 years ago, and I've been cancer free for the last 4 years. Thank God for that.
Yes.
I am a new Gigi. I have a 4-month-old grandson that I'm very in love with, and single mother. And I have started my own business with Tailored Enterprises. I actually stepped out on faith. I actually left corporate America and just decided I took a low voltage class. And upon taking that class, I was offered a contract, and a construction contract. Upon that, I was also entered into my electrician apprenticeship class. So I have just taken a part of doing all of that information and just leaping out and trying to help the community and just try to have, break generational curses and everything of that nature.
So what inspired you to take a low voltage class? Like what woman wakes up in the morning and says, I want to take a low voltage class?
Well, actually, I actually saw a posting on Facebook about it. It's actually out of Zan Holmes' Fraser House in East Dallas. And it was a free class for 4 weeks. And I was currently unemployed. I had left corporate America and I was unemployed. And I just said, well, I have anything to do right now. Let me go ahead and take the class. I took the class for 4 weeks. It was very informative. A lady there by the name of Miss Frances Smith helped me. She was actually my mentor. She helped me with financial, getting my feet off the ground as far as fixing my credit, getting my finances and stuff in order. And while I was taking the class, it was actually in the summer. So I went from wearing stilettos and business suits to actually wearing steel toes and a hard hat and working in the heat with, predominantly male environment. And what made me do it is I actually wanted to get out of my comfort zone and challenge myself, because I had got so complacent and so used to doing the norm, and I just wanted to challenge myself, and I just leaped out and just did it. And surprisingly, I ended up getting my first contract in Farmers Branch, and I ended up getting another contract in forming at a apartment complex, and just been branching out ever since. And I just thank God for the opportunity.
So how many staff members do you have?
Currently, I have 16.
Wow. And that's in a time span of how long?
I would say about 9 months. I've been working at it for the last 9 months.
Wow. So what do you find? We're going to get back to your cancer journey, because this is about reaching beyond the soul. But this is one of those moments. This is part of your journey.
Yes.
What do you find most inspiring about what you're doing? Is it because the average woman is not doing it, or is it impacting your community in a positive way, or what?
It's a little bit of both. The fact that I am an African American female and I am a woman that is actually in a predominantly male career base. Yes, that is my motivation. Also, the fact that I feel like it's part of my ministry, so to speak, in regards to, I know there's a lot of, I grew up in Oak Cliff, of course, went to South Oak Cliff, and there's a lot of dormant homes in our community and a lot of different properties, and I want, it's not always about monetary gain, and I wanted to be able to reach back and actually go back into my neighborhood and those dormant homes and rebuild them and remodel them, and not just for the profit of money.
Right.
Actually, also, my grandmother passed 2 years ago, and her home is actually in Highland Hills, and it's kind of sitting dormant at this point. And I want to go back and rebuild that and have that as a family home. But yeah, I want to do more in regards to the community. And not only that, I want to create something for my children to pass along to my children. So that way, when they get of age, You know, they don't have to go and seek out employment. They could just step into the company business.
Exactly. So what are the age ranges of your children?
Oldest is 23 and the youngest just turned 8 last Saturday.
Wow, what a gap.
Huge gap.
But that baby girl, she is wise beyond her years.
Yes, extremely. Kai has been, she actually saved my life. The thing with her is I was actually diagnosed with cancer prior to finding out that I was expecting her, and during the process of carrying her, they told me that she was going to be born with Down syndrome. They said that me and her wasn't going to make it, you know, after delivery, and yet we're still here, and she's perfectly healthy. And the thing about it, ever since she's been little, my grandmother used to call her a little grown woman, because she's been pretty much prophesying to me since she's been here. I know a couple of my videos you said that I used to post with her talking and speaking to me. Yeah, even now she'll come in and she'll just run up to me and just hug me and give me love and just give me kisses. Mom, are you okay? And everything. And she is
Like that second voice, that confirmation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is so much needed.
Yeah. God does everything for a reason.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we have to give him all the glory for
Absolutely.
that. What were your challenges? So that I didn't know. I did not know that you were diagnosed before you were with child. So how did you get through that? Like, what were the challenges getting through that while carrying a child that you have to have special tests done and they have to monitor you closely? Did it get more aggressive? You know, what happened?
I had to have special tests done. They monitored me the whole time throughout my pregnancy. Because, as I said, I wasn't supposed to be able to carry another child. They did a lot of extreme tests, and as I said, they wanted to do tests on her while she was in the womb, because they said, well, she might be born with Down syndrome. But I was like, no, I can't let you guys do that. So I just actually decided, I changed everything about my lifestyle. I changed my eating habits. I changed everything, as far as I even started laying hands on myself and just speaking life into myself. After I had her, I would say maybe about 4 years ago, they did another biopsy, and they were telling me that I was going to have to take chemo. I was going to have to take radiation in order to still be alive. And I remember when I told the information to my parents, and my mom got frantic. You have to think about the kids, think about the girls. And she called her prayer warriors, which are our neighbors. She called them over, and I was at the house, and they all, you know, had prayer and everything for me. And I just told her, I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And I said, I'm not. And I just changed everything about my life. And it just seemed like I just put faith in God. I just said, no, this is not the end. This is not, you guys don't have to like say so.
Right.
And they did my last biopsy, and I was waiting for the doctor to call. And he finally called and said, we need you to come into the office. So I'm preparing myself for the worst at this time. So when I go in, and I'm like, okay, what is it? How much time do I have? What's my standpoint? And the doctor told me, for the last 3 weeks, we've been trying to figure out, where did your cancer go?
Wow.
Yeah, just like that. And it just floored me. And from that point on, I just, I'm far from perfect. We all still have our vices and our crosses to bear. But from that point on, God actually showed me exactly who he was. And I just had to really I really started thinking about life a whole lot differently. I started trying to right my wrongs and trying to clean up my mess, as my grandmother would say. I tried to clean up my mess, and I'm still in the process of doing that.
That is amazing, because people see me and they think I'm Superwoman, because on Facebook I'm being productive. I don't watch TV. I would rarely watch TV anyway. As an artist, I'm always thinking.
Right.
But even more so now, when I went through that, it's like I got a whole new set of eyes. The way I look at life, the way I look at the sky, the way I interpret what children say.
Yes.
I'm more connected. And when I was going through chemo and I was healing and all that, and I was doing a lot of holistic things when I was that. So I didn't have a lot of the symptoms like the vomiting and all that. not to get too, vulgar, but hey, this is
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't do all those things because I was trying to feed my body the right things. And so I was just trial and error through that. But it's something about when God knows your heart and when he sees and feels that you're trying to do right for yourself, healing starts in the mind first.
Make me tear up. Yes, it does. It does.
It starts in the mind. You have to know and believe
And trust it.
and
With
trust
everything
it,
in you.
no matter what Joe Blow is doing over there, no matter what Kiki comes and says, TT did that and she died. You have to know it's something inside that gives you that assurance and when you're not worried and when you're just like shaking everything off, that's when you know you're walking in the right way, in that path, in that light. Because everything girlfriends talk to me about relationships and things like that, and I said, the one thing I can never tell you about your man, what to do with your kids. I have kids too, they can be knuckleheads sometimes, but I can tell you what is not of peace is not of God. Absolutely. God is love. He's not the author of confusion. So when you have that stillness and that calmness about you, know that you're going in the right direction. Because he's not going to put on more on you than you can bear, and he's not going to have you all frazzled up when things are going haywire. And people say, "Oh, that's the devil. I'm gonna fight this through." Right. Well, but you got to have a little discernment about it, And so I had a calmness when I was going through cancer. I told my kids, and they were really sad. And about the second day, they were walking around the house. They were really all moping. And I said, "Hey, come here." So they came into the living room. I said, "You got 3 days." So and yesterday was 1, and today is 2, and tomorrow is 3. And after that, I don't want to see no long faces. I don't want you using my diagnosis as an excuse for failure, or I was so down and I was worried about your mom and all that. I said, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be mama. I'm still going to get on you. Yeah. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to fight through this. We're going to live. You're going to go to college if that's what you choose to do. Whatever it is that y'all still desire to do, it's going to happen. So don't you worry, because I'm not going to worry. Absolutely. And so I didn't think about it, what I said to them, until after my daughter had gotten she had received a academic scholarship to UNT. So I was really concerned. I say worried, but I was concerned about how she was going to go to school. This was her senior year. And I thought about what I said after she received the scholarship. I thought about what I said to them, and tears came, my eyes welled up. I was so hard on my babies, what were they thinking? What was going on through their mind? I couldn't. And then I began to put myself in their shoes to see me through their eyes. Going through chemo, bones hurting, chilling. You couldn't touch my skin some days, hair falling out. And one day, my daughter had to bathe me after I had the double mastectomy. It was an 8-hour surgery. It was supposed to have been 16 hours. I was out of the hospital in 3 days compared to the week they said I was going to be in there. God was all in there, everywhere, right? And so she would get in the shower and she put on her sports bra and little shorts and she would bathe me down. And so she did it several times. And when I got out of the bathroom, I was looking in the mirror and she was patting my body down with a towel. And tears just came to my eyes. By this time, my hair was gone, my eyebrows was gone. I was naked. And when I say naked, I mean everything that us women try to hold on to make us look so valuable to the world, he removed that all. And I said, "I'm so ugly." I want to cry. I know. And she said, "I'm getting out of here." I said that because I had all these bandages on me, and I told her, I said, "I look like Frankenstein." And she said, "No, you don't. You're beautiful." And so the next day, she's a makeup artist. She does all that stuff, and she's like, she came in the room and she was being like real subtle about it. She's like, "Mama, let me do your makeup." She didn't say, I want to make you feel better, but I know that's what it was. And so she did my makeup, and I did this bald-headed photo shoot, because I walked around with my bald head. I would go get my lashes done and stuff. I didn't have any fear about not having hair, but I just thought about it. Just had that moment of looking at my body and looking at everything that I had gone through just to get rid of a tumor. And that made me fight for holistic living, changing my eating habits for the better, showing people not to just hoard, being a hoarder and keeping things for myself
as a whole.
Right, and sharing it with the world, because a lot of times we're selfish. We will find out about that plug, a decent, legit plug. We won't share with anybody. We keep it to ourselves because we're crabs in a bucket sometimes. And so that was my soil. So we're going to get back to that, but I'm going to give a shout out on some businesses. First of all, I want to talk about Tailored Enterprise. You can contact her. She's still getting her website designed at the moment. Her business hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And her phone number is 214-945-3559. She specializes in electrical and construction for residential and commercial properties. Again, that number is 214-945-3559. Also, A Life Without Him, which I am the author of this book here. I blessed Kenya with this book.
Yes, she did.
And she said her daughter's been reading it, actually.
My
so
girl.
and it's kid friendly and everything. It's real inspired. Your daughter, how old is she? She's 8 years old reading this book, so that's a blessing. But you can find it on Amazon. It's also on Scribd, Apple, Amazon, the ebooks and everything. Any ebook avenue you can go to get it. Also, Kelly Coded Solutions. Kelly D. Lewis is the owner of Kelly Coded Solutions LLC. She can help you with your business and entertainment and personal needs. She supplies personal assistant needs, resume writing, bookkeeping, promotion management, social media management as well. Her phone number is 682-344-4644, or you can reach her at Kelly, that's with a K, K-E-L-L-E-Y, Coated, K-O-A-T-E-D, solutions at outlook.com. And then also, last but not least, we have Hoodie Apparel and Custom Clothing, which is owned by Shaniqua and Shannon Simpson. They are responsible for some of the Let's Live Change apparel, and they do apparel. They ship to you, and so you don't have to be in the city of Dallas. But you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They provide all your custom clothing needs. On Instagram, they're hoodie_apparel, that's HOODI_apparel. And on Facebook is hoodie, HOODI, clothing and apparel. Phone number is 214-241-9387 or 214-241-9390. So, Kenya.
Yes, ma'am.
What was that aha moment that... Now, we go through things, right? And sometimes we feel like, what's our purpose? You know? Things are going haywire, kids, whatever, you know? But there's always an aha moment. And that's going to be on every level of life, right?
Right.
Because that's a part of growth. But what was that main aha moment through cancer, through being a single mother, through wanting more for your career? What was that aha moment that when you were in your soil, what was that jewel that you found?
I think the main part of it all was when I lost my grandmother 2 years ago. She pretty much raised me until I was about 10 years old. in losing her, I went through a great state of depression. I isolated myself from family, including my parents, for about a good year or so. And I dealt with that. And also in the process, my daughter, my oldest daughter, while she was carrying my grandson, she went through a state of depression. And so much so to it was suicidal. And a lot of times we have so much pride to where we internalize a lot and we try to keep everything amongst ourselves and just, okay, I'm just going to bear this and deal with it on my own. Until it got to the point that everything was just too much for me to bear. And I actually was in the shower one day and I just literally broke down on my hands and knees. And it's like, God, I can't do this without you. I can't. I've always been, resilient. I've always been strong. I've always been, helping others or pouring into others or being their backbone. And it's like, I'm tired. I just got tired. And I got out of the shower. I sat on my bed. And it's like, I just heard my grandmother in my ear. It's like, this is not you. Get your tail up. You know what you need to do. And I got in my word. And it's just something just struck me. And along with the birth of my grandson. And I'm like, this is another generation. This is another offspring of me. When there was a point in time when my parents didn't think I was going to live to see the age of 18 from gang banging and, selling drugs and hustling in the streets. They didn't think I was going to live to see the age of 18. And for me to be 43 and to hold my grandson in my arms, it's like, I have to change. It's not about me anymore. It's God blessed me to be here for 43 years. I'm not promised the next second, but I need to make sure that him and my children are okay.
Correct.
And like you said, reaching beyond that soul, it was like I have been buried with situations, circumstances, family issues, pride, hurt, anger. All of this had buried me in that soil for so long. It was like, no, I gotta dig my way out of. And that's what I had to do it, because when I look at my 8-year-old, and like you said, you've heard her speak before. When I look at her, and when she comes in there, and I can be having one of the hardest, roughest days, or tired from work, being out on the site all day, and she'll just run in, Mama, you okay? Do you need anything? Mama, I love you. Mom, can I give you a hug? And she's always done it since she was little. And I can be like, God, I'm tired. Just close my door, let me sleep. And she'll just stand there. Mom, don't be like that. I just want to show you some love.
Oh.
And it just instantly just hit me, and I'm like, you gotta shake this. You can't do this, because she's watching me. Everything I do, she watches me.
Yeah.
So I had to get my mindset and say, no, even if you are having a bad day, don't generate that energy out.
Yeah.
Change it up.
I was gonna say energy,
because
real.
It started affecting her in school and everything. Her demeanor and stuff at school started changing, and I just had to regroup. So once I dug myself out of that soul, I just want to give God the glory. Like I said, I'm still fighting through things that I have to fight through personally. I'm still trying to break generational curses. And like you were saying, dealing with the cancer, it touched me when you said that about your daughter giving you a bath, because I remember specifically one day coming home from a radiation treatment, and I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to do anything. And I couldn't make it upstairs, and all I did was just lay on the sofa. And my daughter, Courtney, she fed me. She's like, Mom, you need to eat. Mom, you can't just lay here and just not do nothing. You need to eat. She fed me. Yeah. And even after I had my 8-year-old, I had surgeries and everything like that, and I couldn't hardly move. And she took care of me and her baby sister. Wow. And that just, it was a lot that I was dealing with that I didn't even tell my parents about. It was just like, being the women that we are, I'm just going to bear it and deal with it on my own. And I remember one time when I had a procedure, and my sister, Coriana, she went to the doctor's office with me. And, my parents, when I told them what was going on, it was like, okay, we hear you, but, it's just something. But when it started getting more and more intense, and I started having to have surgeries, and I started having to do the radiation, and the doctors was calling my parents' house, they was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's like, we didn't know you were dealing with this. And it was because I didn't allow, and I am a very reserved person as far as my personal space.
Yeah.
And as far as, personal issues, I keep a lot to myself. And within the last 2 to 3 years, all I've been hearing God tell me is transparency. Transparency. And that's something, as I told you on our last interview, that's something that I'm working through with myself, because I know that everything that I've dealt with and everything that I'm dealing with, that God's going to get the glory out of this.
Right.
I have a testimony that needs to be heard, and I am going to finish my book. And I thank you for continuously cheering me on with that. But it's the death of my grandmother, watching myself, and then watching my daughter go through the depression when she was expecting my grandson, and the birth of my grandson. I would say that did it.
Yeah.
That did it.
There's something I have on the book. So if anyone wonders where I get Reaching Beyond the Soil, the title from is because my book is called A Life Without Him, but the subtitle is Reaching Beyond the Soil to Find Your Treasure. And so in this book, it's a fictional book, and it depicts everyday people just going through life. I mean, there's death in this book. There's a lot of tragedies and just relatable stories that all kind of come together. And it's about the hymn could be various things. It could be a marriage relationship. It could be a relationship with Christ. But on this book, about the author, I said, the first paragraph says, I took a hard tumble to the ground, which resulted in scrapes and bruises, some which I knew would leave permanent scars. In my attempt to convalesce from the fall, there appeared a faint flicker of light. As I drew nearer, a very precious stone lied beneath a layer of soil. I imagined the jewel was often trampled, kicked around, and ignored. It was small but powerful. You see, I wasn't willing to fall, but life knocked me down. And sometimes you must fall. And so I was trying to think about, like, when I was putting the little pieces together after, wrote the book and self-published it. And, I was praying that I was going on the right road. And I knew I didn't have a lot of finances to publish the book, give people $5,000 to do it. And I just asked God to lead me, because he gave me the title. He gave me the title. I woke up one morning with that title in my mind, and I tried to write a song to it. And I can write music off the dime. I can go to the studio and just freestyle and have a whole song. But it just didn't turn out to be what I thought it should be. And I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she says it's probably a book, and I was like, no, because that book is going to be about me. It's not going to be about the life without him. I don't even know what that means. So she said, well, just start writing. And I thank you, Shish Boyd. She went to South Oak Cliff.
Okay.
She's a journalism major, and she was checking on me that day, and we was just having good girlfriend talk while I was going through cancer. And I just started writing one day in May, and in August 1st, I had written over 50,000 words. And so I knew that it was from God, because I never had a desire to write a book. Music was my thing, and he had another plan for me. But when I was trying to get the little pieces together, because my friends were like, well, you need about the author now. You need an introduction. I was like, what? Why?
Right.
all of this. I wrote the book. Isn't that enough? But it came to my spirit. It spoke to me what I had gone through. Whether it was divorce, whether it was losing a home, whether it was, a breakup with a boyfriend, cancer. We all have soil.
Yes.
Some of us are in the soil. Some of us, if you look at this man, he's in the soil. He's trying to pull up. His back is bent. He's trying to pull up out of that soil. He's standing up right here, but he's still weak. But when he can't gain strength, he's moving forward, and his path is paved with gold, because at that point he understands what it is why he was down there and what it is that he needs to do to what it is that he he needs to do in order to move forward and have purpose in life. And so that's what A Life Without Him is about. And I encourage you to go purchase it. It'll change your life, give you a new perspective. I've got a lot of feedback by a lot of men and women too. And my new book is coming out. It's a sequel to A Life Without Him. It's called Make the Crooked Road Count. And it comes from a verse in Ecclesiastes. And so that is a spinoff from this one. And I'm talking about the same characters and pulling in some new characters. And so look forward to that. December 2019, it's coming out. And so, Kenya, I just want to thank you for being a guest. I want to thank you for being transparent, sharing your journey, because especially with depression and suicide, those are things that we hold inside and we're not willing to share, and not understanding that when we share, it's going to help the next man.
Yes.
So we're here for each other. We've been put here on this earth to be a vessel to help the next man. And so we have to get out of our own way.
Yes, we do.
Because material things and insecurities and all these things get in the way of stopping us from really being, living our full potential. And so God is going to bless you, continue to grow your business. And I hope to have you back to talk about your business a little bit more in detail. Maybe, maybe at the end of the year, maybe at the beginning of the year. Once you have your website up, I definitely will solicit it on the show. And so thank you guys for joining us again. I hope you really found a treasure in what we've shared with you today. God is good. Keep living change. The name of the show is Let's Live Change. My subtitle for the show is Be the Change That You Want to See. If you want to make a difference in the world, you got to live it. You can't get out there on the corner and talk about what should be done unless you're actually willing to get out there and make it happen. Come up with some ideas, come up with community efforts or whatever it is that you're passionate about, or that don't just sit up and get on the phone and gossip about it. That's you gotta talk about it. You gotta live it. And so I'm trying to do my best to live my best life, but my best life is not just about me. It's not a selfish nature. And I think that term is about a lot of selfishness. It's about I'm doing me or whatever, but doing you should be helping others.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we're here on this earth for. So tune in next time. In honor of Breast Cancer Month, I salute my breast cancer survivors. I salute those who have gone on their spirits are resting with God. I salute the ones who are still fighting. I salute the ones who have reached through their soul and found their treasure and beat this sometimes deadly disease. And if you need anything or want to know anything about my survival story, you can email me at letslivechange@gmail.com. You guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.